Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Hi, my name is Paul Caroli, and I host a podcast called Changing Denver. It's a monthly show about our city's physical spaces, how we make them, and how they make us. But it's so much more than that. It's the conversations, ideas, and stories that define Denver's perpetual state of flux. Find more from our team at changingdenver.com and join the conversation on Twitter at changingdenver. Denver's changing. We can help.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
I'm Andre Gower.
And I'm Ryan Lambert.
And you're listening to
Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con. I am Ryan. With me is
Zach.
And
dude, you said you'd give me time to do the text.
Sorry, brah.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, I'm Brad. You know that by now.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie, and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, we saw Bumble Bee.
Bumblebee.
The prequel to the Transformer movies. Stay tuned to the end of the show. We'll tell you if you see it or not. Play the trailer and spoil prequel.
Spoiler alert, Autobots. Sorry, I just really like doing that Peter Cullen voice lately. It's fun. It amuses me.
Okay, we're going to keep on doing it, or?
Nah, I'm good for now.
You sure?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. We also talk about movies.
Autobots, roll out.
See, but at least yours sounds awesome.
He stole my thunder.
My throat's all screwed up still.
I know. Brad is currently carrying the
Deadly
zombie virus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
T-virus.
So if you get bitten by Bradley and you come back as a ravenous zombie, you know why.
I was going to say the deadly Motaba virus from Outbreak. And the same one that infected the town of New Jersey in Clerks the Animated Series.
I think the T virus is a little more relevant.
T-virus stands for Transformers virus. Bumblebee.
Brad transformed into the sound booth, man. That was weird.
It's awesome. Yeah. Brad, you're still sick, so your week was... How was it? Was it okay?
It's just mediocre. Like, it's no better the day after, or like it just doesn't. Nothing's changed. It's
just there.
Yeah. So I'm just stuck on my computer making stuff. It was like the longest time I've gone without trying to go see a movie this week.
Yeah.
So that was weird. I was like, I really want to go see something, but if I don't have to, like, I need to mentally convince myself that I don't have, like, boredom doesn't have to be me going out and paying $12 to see a movie. Yeah. I have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. Just deal with it. But
I agree. You know, I haven't seen a movie, I think, in the theater in 3 weeks because I saw Bumblebee a long time ago. Last movie I saw was Mary Poppins.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
So, yeah, because I saw Mary Poppins and Bumblebee, like, back-to-back days, or maybe 2 or 3 days apart.
You guys are stronger than me. I'm an addict. I've been every week since that point. But
no, I felt like shit, and so I've watched movies at home.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad you're over it.
Yeah, I know. It took me 2.5 weeks.
I'm surprised more of our friends didn't get it.
Well, I mean, the problem is, you just make out all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
But they don't know.
And I have the sloppy seconds, so naturally I don't get it as bad, but I still get it.
Yeah. You just get the slight.
I'm not even sure if I had what you guys had, though, because I had an ear and sinus infection, so maybe-ish.
My sinuses were bad. But I don't know, I had some sort of fever. I think I had the flu, actually.
When I went to...
Did you get a shot?
Yep.
Oh, okay, then.
Before I went to the Shyamalan-a-thon, I had like a pain in my in my lungs and then my sternum all the way back to my spine and then up through my esophagus. And my mom said that was probably pneumonia. So
Your mom's a nurse, so she would know.
yeah.
She also said that your original name was Mr. Glass. Oregon Glass. I'll be here all week.
Are you saying my bones are brittle?
I'm
Does
saying.
that make sense at all?
I'm just saying
Is what we're talking about?
that you shouldn't talk to James McAvoy.
I don't think I'll have that problem. Pretty sure I'm not going to cross his path.
You leave here, and he's like at Best Buy.
He's just outside Zach's house. Hey, can you move your car? You're blocking me in. James McAvoy? What are you doing here?
Yeah. And then he just picks it up and throws it like in glass. And
Are you here to bend bullets with your mind?
Bruce Willis is in the background lazily going, "Stop. Don't do that."
so, yeah, that's what we do. I'm going to change it up this week because I was listening to our last episode. I've been doing it the same way for a while.
Okay.
These are the Blu-rays that are coming out next week.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
See, you got to be ready for the curveball I'm throwing. It's a 12 to 6. That has a lot of break on it.
Did anybody see mid-90s here at all?
Nope.
Oh, well, you can get it on Blu-ray and watch it now if you want to. Also, Castle Rock, the first season, is getting a 4K and Blu-ray release.
Are you on the right week? I think I saw Castle Rock at Best Buy last week.
January 8th. Oh, fuck me. I'm off, man. My bad.
First episode of the new year, and still haven't got it figured out.
Yeah, still screwed up.
9 years later.
Yeah. I'm wrong, actually. The best possible release ever. Halloween, David Gordon Green's current masterpiece, is coming to 4K Blu-ray and also Steelbook at Best Buy. Did you get the Steelbook?
I'll probably pre-order it. I think it looks cool.
It looks okay. I don't know why I'm feeling underwhelmed by it.
I've learned from Brad's misfortunes when they deliver Steelbooks that I wait till the day they're released, and as soon as, because they won't let you pre-order them or pick them up at the store until they're open. Mm-hmm. So at 10 o'clock in the morning, I log onto their website and I order it from whatever Best Buy I want, and then they pull it aside.
Yeah, often if you even try to pre-order it the week before, it'll say like, you can't
Not
deliver
available.
to the
It's
store.
not available. Yeah,
It's like, no way.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something dumb and buy both the Steelbook and the regular because I also like the regular cover. It's just Michael's face looking ominous. Also, this is just a throwback release, but Cliffhanger's getting a 4K release, which sounds like lots of fun.
I like Cliffhanger.
And then
Top of the other hand.
I've never seen it, but
No?
no, I've never.
It's Rennie Harlan at his best.
I've never watched every single Stallone film, which I'll have to do that at some point. Maybe when I'm done with Clint, I'll do Stallone next.
All right.
That'll be fun.
He's been in a lot of big movies.
Oh God, the Stallone filter's back on the board again.
Your fault, you brought him up.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot not to. It's like Beetlejuice. Also, one that you and I'll like, Ryan. Notorious is getting its Criterion release this week.
Yeah, I do have that coming.
Nice. And then we have Once Upon a Deadpool is getting its Blu-ray release. Cool.
Brad,
Yeah.
is that worth a double dip on Blu-ray?
What is?
Once Upon a Deadpool? When it's $7?
Yeah, if it's like $30, maybe no. But if it's 10 or 15, yeah.
Why not?
I mean, you're only watching a couple new scenes, and it's PG-13. Does it say if it has like the R cut on it?
I don't know.
Doesn't say if it does.
I don't think it does.
I don't think
the box art's him riding the unicorn, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it would, just because plenty of opportunities to get the other one anyway. They should just do a big.
I like the steelbook of that one. I have that one. That one's fun.
Maybe when the third one comes out, they'll do like a big box set that includes that cut in it. But anyway, also The Old Man and the Gun, the Robert Redford movie that nobody saw.
I want to see that one.
You now watch
I
it.
tried to. It was one of my Chartiz choices that I never made it to.
I know. And then we've also got Goosebumps 2. So if you like the first Goosebumps and wanted some more Goosebumps, you can get more Goosebumps. And then we've got Happy Birthday to Me on one of those VHS older slip covers.
I got that. at Walmart.
So I guess then they're just reissuing it.
I think it's no longer Walmart exclusive, would be my guess.
So now it's available to all mankind, which is pretty neat. And then the Pink Panther cartoon collection from 71 to 75 is getting a Blu-ray release. I assume that's from Shout.
I think it's actually Kino Lorber.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kino has the cartoons, but Shout has the movies. And then from Scream Factory is Saturday the 14th, which I want to watch.
It's garbage.
I'm sure it is, but I like the guy who directed it is a guy who I enjoy watching kind of throughout the 70s.
Yeah, the hard
and
thing
80s.
with those Scream Factory releases, they're hardly ever on sale. They're always like $26
Yeah.
because no one buys them.
Would that be the same case for Howling 3, The Marsupials?
Hi. Well, if you want to sit...
No, I'm not.
This movie's one of those ones that's so bad that it's kind of fun to watch. But granted, I haven't seen it in so long. The cover art is probably the coolest part of that movie.
I had enough of my Howling fill with the Howling 2. And I like the first one a lot.
See, I think Howling 2 is fun because it's so stupid. And Scream Factory actually put out a really great Blu-ray. If you do the reverse cover art, it's known by its European name, which is Sherpa Werebitch. So you can check that out.
Nice. And looks like that's about it as far as I can see here.
Crimson Peak is getting a special edition from Arrow
That's
Video.
right. Sorry. Missed that one here on Arrow
I
Video.
think it's been delayed a lot because I pre-ordered a long time ago
Also,
and it got shipped.
That's why you're giving me Crimson Peak on Blu-ray.
I have a really bad habit of like, oh, that movie looks cool, and I pre-order it, and then I forget about it, and then I get like text says, hey, your order of Crimson Peak special edition is coming out. And I said, oh yeah, because sometimes I'm like, I'm going to pre-order it, and I'll decide if I want it or not because I just want it to. When you do it on Amazon, you'll get the lowest price if it fluctuates, and then I just forget about it because they only post your like 6 months worth of stuff.
Right.
And I think that one's been delayed a couple times.
Well, now it is available.
It's a cool movie though.
But yeah, that is Blu-rays.
Awesome. Corinne called in. She watched Sicario, which is Emily Blunt's best movie. I'm really tempted to put Mary Poppins there because, my childhood nostalgia. And that was a really cool thing you posted on Twitter where you said you thought that the bathtub was CGI, and it's not.
Oh, I didn't think that. Someone else posted that. I just directed you toward it.
Yeah. But you directed it towards it, so,
But it's cool. I totally did think that was
Yeah.
CGI in the movie, even though she slid
And
down
then
a
you
little
realize that
subtitle.
Emily Blunt is so great that everything she does is amazing. Can you imagine that?
Nope. Yeah, haha. I see what
Yeah,
you did
see?
with the
There you go.
song. Yeah,
Catch up. Here's what Corinne had to say about Sicario.
Hey nerds, Corinne here, although this week I won't be doing a Catching the Classics. If anybody didn't listen to the Film Explosion episode, Ryan and I did a movie swap. He watched my copy of Juliet Naked, which is not a porno, it's a rom-com, and I got his copy of Sicario, so I was going to talk about that. Sicario, really, really good movie. I really want to watch it again. I think now that I know what's going on, I might process it a little bit better the second time around. But, I was just blown away with, how well this movie, built up the tension. The border scene really stands out to me, just, the whole lead up to that of, they're spotting the different cars, and they're like, Green Civic, 3 lanes over, and they're just and popping up the little guns all right, roll down your window, it was a really well done scene, or at least the tension building up to it was, I guess, maybe in my mind I thought the tension was so built up I expected this huge shootout, which it kind of was, but not to the scale that I was expecting, but that's okay. Yeah, I really liked the way this movie was shot, just kind of bouncing around between little quiet moments with different characters and not glossing over kind of their sort of banal reactions to things, like the scene at the beginning where you see the guys outside throwing up after they find the bodies in the house. That felt very nicely paced and good kind of character building moment. And I really liked the movie. I think if I had any problems with it, it was that a third of the way into the movie, all of a sudden the film switches its focus away from Emily Blunt's character and onto Benicio's character. And I guess I was like, wait, so this whole time we've been so focused on Kate, and then now all of a sudden it's nope, Alejandro is the main character. But maybe if I rewatched it, I would feel a little bit differently about it. Because, they did give his character a good amount of focus in the first 2/3 of the movie, but it just seemed like all of a sudden, like, no, like, he's the main character. And it's like, well, I guess this movie is called Sicario, so it makes sense why all of a sudden we're switching the focus to him. But I guess I would have preferred a little bit more focus on his character initially, so that the transition was a little bit smoother. I don't know. But, oh my gosh, yeah, that last scene where they're in her apartment and her decision, spoilers, to not shoot him. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you could read that so many different ways, and they all kind of, or maybe, you know, there were multiple reasons why she didn't shoot him, but it's just, yeah, I love the movie, and I appreciate you guys kind of prepping me for the whole, like, it's really depressing, it's really dark, and it's like, yeah, it is, but I think the fact that I knew that going into it, it made it a little bit easier to watch. So, thanks, Ryan, for loaning me that movie, and hope you had fun watching Juliet naked, and I hope to see you all again very soon. And for my next Catching the Classics, part 11, I think I'll be reviewing a comedy/horror movie. So that's going to happen next time. Bye.
Yeah, she's right on. I think that's why Sicario said it is such a great film, is because what I love about Emily Blunt's character is, you know, that she's a badass. I mean, it's established early on when she raids that house they think is like a drug lord, and it's full of dead people and kidnapped people, and then there's a bomb that kills law enforcement officers.
Can we stop the podcast? I want to watch Sicario again.
And I think what makes the film so great, when she was talking about the border scene, is you don't know what's going on either. It's your thrust into Emily Blunt's character Kate's point of view, and she even says, "What the fuck is going on?" after she like wastes some dude and blows his brains out.
That confusion is delightfully intentional.
Yeah, and it's
well,
great.
not delightfully.
I think Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt are amazing in this film. I think the MVP that's kind of hidden away is Josh Brolin. I think he's really great and intense in it. And when you watch Day of
the Soldado,
Day of Dead People, his character's arc is really good in that. It's not as good as the first one, but I would never expect it to be. That there's a sequel actually to Sicario, I think is pretty impressive. But yeah, it's intense, it's sad. You have that feeling with her of, you know, what the fuck is going on. It's really well shot. She mentioned that too, by Academy Award winner.
I'll say that her comment on Alejandro's arc kind of being more centralized within the second act and whatnot, I think we kind of have to get only bits and pieces of him in this movie, because like, sequel aside, like, we need to be as confused about him as Emily Blunt is about him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which it makes the dinner scene at the end so freaking uncomfortable, and the following scene that she discussed in her apartment even more scary.
Oh yeah, and and he doesn't have any remorse. I mean, he just murders that whole dude's family. He's
human, but he's also like he's gone through shit, and he's a hitman.
Yeah. So it's very well done. I like that she liked it. It's one of those movies that I recommend to people, but I understand if they don't like it.
Well, it's tough subject matter.
It is, but if they get past that and they realize that it's an amazing film, and like I said, it's my favorite Emily Blunt movie, and I've seen them all.
Yes.
I haven't seen all of them. There's a couple of British ones that are hard to come by.
Oh, Tea and Biscuits, the motion picture. Yeah. No, you can't get that one very easily.
The Young Victoria?
No, I have that one.
No.
Okay. That one's really easy. It's like a $4 Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Well, it's at the Alamo. It's like one of their specialty programs.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I have to see that. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
Martin Scorsese presented that one.
Yeah. No, I forget what it's called. There's one with like Liam Neeson, I think.
Taken 4.
I've never seen. There's a couple that are really Britishy that I think are only on DVD. I'll have to go back and research, but I've seen most of them. Sherlock Gnomes is streaming on Netflix, so I won't have to spend money on that.
There you go.
And I'm still waiting for My Little Pony to show up streaming.
Oh, the Friendship is Magic movie?
Yeah, she's a voice in it. She only did voices last year because she was pregnant with her second child.
That's right.
So she took time off to do those, and then she rehearsed for Mary Poppins for 10 months.
Yeah.
Love that woman.
Also, when you said Day of Dead People, I was like, that's the George A. Romero movie we never got. Just Day of Dead
I cannot
People.
remember the subtitle of this Sicario 2.
It was supposed to be just called Soldado, and then they got nervous because marketing.
Yeah.
But no, that should have been Romero's last picture. Is just Day of the Dead People. Fuck it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I love George Romero.
It's a zombie movie.
People love it.
I love watching special features with George Romero because he has the fuck it attitude whenever he talks.
He's got the best smile of any director I've ever seen BTS footage of.
There's a great roundtable discussion in the Creep Show Blu-ray that Shout put out that has Tom Savini, makeup guys, an actor, and then Tom Atkins. Fuck, his name slipped me. Who's the dude in Halloween 3? And they all talk about
Drunky McDrunkerson.
Yeah, they all talk about how great he was to work for, and that he handled, because there's a lot of celebrities in Creep Show.
Oh yeah.
And then they talked about how Leslie Nielsen would carry around a fart machine.
They talked to Stephen King in that one, or
no?
Oh,
they talk. Yeah, he doesn't really show up on special features. King doesn't.
He's busy in Maine writing 5 books a minute.
Yeah. Anyways, Brad, is there something happening around town that we need to know about?
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
I've got a song this week.
Good.
Except there's one about him riding around in his Jeep. He's honking in, getting out of his way as he pulls into a parking spot.
I did honk my horn a couple times because I came back from Fort Collins just now.
Big mistake.
Just now, yeah. Twice once going up there and once coming back. Some person was doing 90 behind me, and I was gonna change lanes, and obviously they're doing 90. So I look back, looks fine. Suddenly they're right behind me.
Yeah.
That bullshit. So, and of course there's always a big truck.
Yep.
Should roll down your window and said, do you know who you almost just? I am a real nerd.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly with some. Yeah.
It's the one truck driver who listens to the
Big truck driver
podcast.
guy. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
I think you're going to continue your song.
No.
This Thursday, the Emerging Filmmakers Project is at the Bug. $5. Starts at 8 o'clock. If It Bleeds is screening there. So I will be on stage doing a Q&A of that.
Nice.
Along with watching a bunch of the other local films. And then...
It's a good short film.
Thank you. And the Blu-rays will be there if you want one to buy from me.
Mm-hmm.
Bring money.
Yeah. I think that's it. The Esquire's still down. I drove by it last night.
Mm-hmm.
It just says temp closed. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life if I have nothing to go to at midnight on the weekends?
You can also send some info that AMC Cherry Creek 8's closed.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. The Cherry Creek 8. They're remodeling and they're trying to put in a bar and stuff so they can be like the Alamo. So
that's weird. I used to I was working at that theater when I first met you guys. We were just transitioning to digital at the time, so they still had. I was still up in the projection booth, turning on the digital projectors and making sure they worked. And then when they went automated, that's around the same time when I was leaving anyway to go find another job. So
I think it's the first theater I went to when I moved here, and I saw Batman Returns there.
Nice.
First movie theater I remember going to is the Green Mountain one and Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
I'm sure I went to some before that, but that's the one I remember going to.
Yeah, it's
like the
one
movie.
I remember. What sticks out for me is though, because I was a dumb kid, so when they do the flashback to the Penguin's origin, and then it says 40 years later, I'm just like, so Batman's 80 now, not understanding that it was a flashback.
Dad looks down at you, my son.
Yeah.
My first one was the one up on Arapahoe that you and I have been to that I used to work at before the AMC. Now they're going to be reopening it as a Cinebar.
Yep.
So
Nice.
yeah, so now I can walk to the Cinebar.
Speaking of movie theaters, we watch movies. Sometimes in theaters, sometimes at home. This is a segment I call What You've Been Watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
What'd you watch, boys and ghouls? Brad?
Sweet. Look at this list. It's like a whole page on my phone.
Nice.
So if you don't interrupt me, I can get through it really fast. All right. I'm going to start with, let's see. I rewatched Goldmember. It's on Netflix.
It's fun.
Nice.
It's okay, but it's like the whole movie is just, hey, we got Britney Spears in the movie. Look, it's Britney Spears. Oh, hey, we got this other person in the movie. They're popular right now. Here's a half-assed joke about that. The best part is the opening with Tom Cruise as Austin Powers.
Yeah.
And then Steven Spielberg being like, I think my Oscar has something to say about those decisions. But everything after that is just like, meh. I also rewatched The Mummy. The Mummy Returns. Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh, the Brendan Fraser
The Scorpion
extravaganza.
King.
Yeah.
And those first two are pretty fun. But the thing that stuck out to me that I hadn't noticed before is, and thanks to High Definition, in The Mummy, the first one, when Rachel Weisz is in the library and she gets stuck on the ladder, they cut to a wide shot, and it's clearly a man in a wig and trying to balance on the a stilt act guy.
Oh, I believe you, but I want to see this for myself.
Yeah,
now.
check it out. It's pretty funny. Because it's clearly not Rachel Weisz.
You got it on 4K
or
is
female. Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was on 4K yet or not.
Yeah, Walmart had like that Steelbook collection for like $15 or something. So yeah,
Shit,
That's
yeah.
worth it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
That's enough entertainment for that. I think the first movie's worth $15.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the first movie a lot.
Oh, look, I got these bonus
You know, if you want to
craps.
listen to someone who worked on that, we have a great interview with Joe Kramer from ILM.
Ed Kramer.
Ed Kramer. That's what I said.
And the Scorpion King, like I watched it years ago when it came out, and was like, "This is garbage." But watching it now, for some reason, it was actually kind of fun.
It's a big dumb sword and sandals epic.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like the part where he rips the arrow out of his back to shoot the villain is like it's pretty badass.
Yeah, of course, The Rock.
Like if it was a more competent, like not cheesy movie, like that would actually be pretty awesome. Like if Schwarzenegger did it or something.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I mean, that's obviously his first movie, so there's some growing pains. But I mean, now he's pretty solid. But
Did Chuck Russell direct that one?
no, it's
Is it Rob Cohen?
that sounds right. I don't know.
No, Rob Cohen did the
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, yeah.
But yeah, it's Chuck. I think it's
Chuck Russell, the guy who did The Mask, and
he did The Mask. Yeah,
and
I
Nightmare
just
3.
thought maybe it was a different name,
No.
but yeah. And then I finally got around to watching Hell or High Water and seeing Yet,
Oh,
and that's actually pretty good.
yeah.
You know,
That was my number one from 2016.
I also watched Primal Fear.
No gerbils involved.
No gerbils are harmed in the making.
That story will never die.
But a gerbil in your butt will.
Which I feel like the twist of that movie actually kind of hurts it. Like
I haven't seen it in so long, I can't remember.
Yeah, so Ed Norton is accused of murdering a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
And then in the course of initially Richard Gere's there to just be like, he just wants a case that has like huge spotlight because he's really into himself and his career. And,
Publicity, yeah.
Publicity, yeah. And then I think Laura Linney is the prosecuting attorney. And anyway, as Richard Gere's trying to figure out what's going on, he's so sure of himself. He's just like, yeah, this kid's innocent, and I'm gonna, defend him under that notion. As you go along, you find out like maybe he's not, and then it jumps back to him being like, yeah, he is innocent. And then at the end of the movie, Edward Norton breaks character, and you realize he's been playing Richard Gere the whole time.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the part that's just like,
I haven't seen that in so long, man. It's a good movie, though, if I remember right.
yeah,
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah, that twist is what gets him his first Oscar nod, man.
yeah. But also, I'm just like, what does Primal Fear even mean?
It's
Like,
just
in that story.
It's a 90s courtroom drama title.
Yeah.
Double Jeopardy.
I rewatched Doom, also with The Rock.
Nice.
Also better than Remember, but it's pretty.
You know what's funny is I got that a couple years ago on Steelbook when it was on sale for I think $3.99. It's still in its wrapper.
Yeah. But I forgot like Carl Urban's like actually the hero in it. But it's cool to see like you think he'd be the hero throughout the whole thing, and then The Rock turns out to be like the bad guy.
I think the first person shooter part is pretty wicked, if I remember right. I haven't seen it since it came out in theater.
Yeah, it's only really towards the finale.
Yeah.
And it's just because I I looked away for a second. I think he got like dosed with some kind of drug or something.
Yeah.
And just like he went into like first-person shooter mode.
It's one of those first films where I remember like reading the reviews for it and then it becoming a joke months later in like different like EW articles and stuff. So I haven't seen it though.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch it.
The one part, Carl Urban like traps the Rock in like that transporter thing, teleporter thing, and I thought like they set it up that like the guy in the wheelchair like lost his legs because of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would make more sense if the Rock also got like cut in half with the transporter, but they let him go through the transport to the other side, and then Carl Urban throws a bomb through, and it explodes on the other side. And I was like, it would have been way more badass if it like cut the Rock in half. And yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so long. I'll have to unwrap it.
I rewatched 42, and that was like,
oh, I love that movie.
Harrison Ford, so good in that movie.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
really
a player
good.
who's got the guts not to fight.
Yeah.
It's a good role.
I rewatched Little Nicky,
It's bad.
which I haven't seen since the 90s.
Yeah, I think 99 it came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like, it's just like,
And
like an Ocean's movie. Like, he just got his friends together and they just fucked around the
and
whole time.
I'm pretty forgivable to most Adam because I really like Adam Sandler, but that's a movie I have a really hard time watching. And yeah, I mean, I love Rodney Dangerfield, and I just can't handle Adam Sandler like this. And friend, it's so weird, and it's one of those $100 million movies that shouldn't be $100 million,
And it shouldn't be because the CGI and effects are horrible. Even the typography is terrible.
Oh yeah, when you go back and watch it, you just wow, this is not good.
Yeah.
That's what gets him switched over to Columbia, I think, because that film bombed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it screams like you watch it. It's like the studio's like, oh yeah, Adam Sandler, here's $100 million to make this devil
absolutely.
movie. And then you watch it and you can tell like by post editing, they're just like, here, throw Ariel on the screen and get the shit out of here.
Yeah.
Because it's should I describe the plot to people listening, or just move on?
Yeah, you can move on. Nicky is the devil's son, and the devil's dying because his sons are bad, and they go to New York, right? Something like that?
His sons are like, yeah, we're going to screw with New York because you won't make us the next devil.
That's right.
And then his dad's like, and because they jump through the portal to hell, it freezes the portal, so none of the souls can get in.
That's right.
And then his dad's decaying because none of the souls are getting in. And his dad's like, the solution is to trap your brothers into this whiskey flask.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And it's really bad CGI when they get sucked in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it like 2 years ago, and I still can't. I think I just block it out of my memory.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep jumping around on my list here. I rewatched Armageddon, also from the similar era.
Did you miss a thing?
No, that movie is like an hour of here's a bunch of like fake science stuff that we made up, and
That
you're
Ben Affleck
training
calls-
for it,
That Ben Affleck calls out in the commentary.
and then a bunch of like,
I mean, if you just stay awake, just to hear your heart beating.
yeah, it was better than I remembered, but it's just
It's
like,
one of those movies that's fun.
and there's so many like people that you don't remember in it that are like big now.
I was remembering Kevin Smith's story where he was trying to get Bruce Willis for Jersey Girl, and Ben Affleck's like, "Don't worry, I'll talk to him. I did the Meteorite movie with him," and he's like, "I remember Harry, I love you," and then he didn't call back, and I'm like, well, apparently Harry didn't love you back.
Sorry, back to Adam Sandler. I also watched Click.
Oh, yeah, that movie's fun.
And the best thing I can say about it is Kate Beckinsale in her underwear wearing a Women of Justice League t-shirt.
Yeah, that movie's fun.
Never seen it before.
It's a little darker than I watched it recently. It's darker than I remember it being.
Yeah, the tone is like almost a drama.
Yeah,
But it's got these silly, awful special effects and just silly moments.
yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, Adam Sandler gets a remote control from Bed Bath & Beyond that like
And beyond.
that he can control us, and then eventually he puts on autopilot.
It's a
and he
remote
fast forwards through his life
For
and
you
misses out on,
to
like,
fast forward through your life.
he fast forwards through his life and then misses out on a bunch of important
Yeah.
things because he's lazy and stupid.
Yep, and that's the lesson. It's like a fairy tale.
But then when it gets to him actually dying, it's like he's trying to act like it's super serious, but I'm just laughing because the whole scene just seems really forced, like forced important. Yeah.
But Kate Beckinsale, that's one beautiful woman.
Ever watched The Village?
Garbage.
Which I haven't seen in a long time, and it was also better than I remember. But like what I didn't notice back in the day is like how relevant it is today, because it's a bunch of like old people trying to preserve like their old ways, and resisting the change in the future, and then
they find out trucks exist on the highway,
and using fear mongering to keep everyone in line, and then when
Don't make me want to watch this movie again, Brad. You son of a bitch.
and then once change comes anyway, they're forced to abandon that plan.
I read this really funny article on the Hollywood Reporter. You should check it out. It's about Sam Jackson and his ascension to become a really big movie star, and he's the most bankable star in Hollywood because his movies have totaled like $13 billion. And he talks about Shyamalan, and when he was on Unbreakable, he used to drive him crazy because he said, "Don't emphasize that word, emphasize this word." And so he's
Shyamalan told him that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so he's in this article. I just love reading the article because they're quoting me, and he says stuff like, "Motherfucker, stay in your lane." And he would talk about how he would go to the movie lot and they'd be passing, and he'd say, "Hey, motherfucker, when you making a sequel to Unbreakable?" And I'm just reading this and going, "Yeah, that's really funny." I want Sam Jackson to call me a motherfucker.
I'd pay money to have that happen.
No, I would too.
Yeah, I know, dude. Let's pull our resources.
Done. If he comes to Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he also says that he loves it. That's what he's known for, saying motherfucker. You should read the article. It's really good. It's really good. It talks about his career. It's really good.
When he said stay in your lane, and he's just like, wait a minute, I got an idea for a movie, Changing Lanes.
And then you realize that he's in so many movies you like. You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah, he's run the gamut, man.
Yeah, he talks about how he hates Spike Lee. It's funny.
Did you see that they played it at the Alamo? There's like I don't know what it's for, but it's a like kind of a short commercial where he's going around the city and people keep coming up to him saying like, "Hey, Sam Jackson, I really like your work. Except you like taught my kid to smoke because you smoked in that movie," or like, now he's
everything's Sam Jackson's fault. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like, yeah, and now my kids like training dinosaurs because you were in Jurassic Park, stuff like that, and it gets sillier and sillier.
He's in a I know you're not a big Spike Lee fan, but there's the movie that he did called Jungle Fever. If you were to just watch Sam Jackson's,
Jungle Fever.
That's where the song comes
from.
from.
I know. That's why he's mad at Spike Lee, because he won an award at Cannes for it, the first time and only time a supporting actor won an award.
They had to create the award for him.
Yeah, and he didn't get the award for 8 motherfucking months.
Oh.
And he wasn't even invited. They said he'd have to pay for his way there, and he never.
He worked with Spike again on Chirac, so maybe couldn't have been mad at him too long. But he's good in that film. Like if you were to just watch his performance alone, like it's
he talks about too in that he plays a crack addict in it.
In Gator, yeah,
and he was just getting out of rehab. The story, you have to read this article. So he's talking about that Spike Lee offered this to him, and he's going to be a crack addict, and the people in the rehab have said, "You shouldn't do that. Exposing yourself. You're going to put the glass pipe on your lip." And his quote is, "If it gets me away from you motherfuckers, I'm going to do it." Because he hated the people in rehab. And he never did it again. He got married to his wife. Been married 38 years. Good for him. Good for him.
Segueing into more Shyamalan. So I did the Shyamalan-a-thon at the Alamo. So I saw Unbreakable and Split leading up to Glass. I'll save Glass for next week. But I have some thoughts on that shit. Unbreakable, still fantastic.
Although it's his best movie.
Yeah, the print they showed, it felt like a DVD copy though. There's a lot of noise and grain in it.
That sucks.
But watching it, it's a little unfair for Glass to watch this leading up to it because it's a studio film and it has a way bigger budget and a better cinematography. There was also a Q&A with Shyamalan, like a live Q&A. It's funny to hear you talk about Sam Jackson because he didn't get to talk about a lot of it, like his filmmaking. Like there's like three questions, and then all of his answers were really long, and he acknowledged that he was like rambling a lot. And it's interesting because he invited people to talk about like leaving the studio system, and no one bid on it. Like going to Blumhouse and everything, because he said like he's focusing on just being an indie filmmaker now because there's so much more freedom in that realm.
He had
doing stuff like Split.
He had been screwed over a bunch in the early days. So.
Yeah, and he also said like with the funny thing about Unbreakable is like it's a Touchstone movie, so it's a Disney movie, and back when that came out, and they were trying to market it. They were saying like, people don't want to watch superhero movies, so we need to treat it like a horror film. And it's just funny that now Disney's all about superheroes.
No, I remember that movie. I was shocked when it was a superhero movie because I remember the lead up to it was not that way. The thing with Shyamalan, he made his bet a lot when it came to how he got treated. I'll never forget. It was about 10 years ago, right after Lady in the Water came out, and there was a huge article in Entertainment Weekly or some other trade paper that I read all the time, and they talked about how Disney told him, they said, this movie's no good. You need to go back and rewrite it. And his feelings were hurt so bad, and he was drinking his own Kool-Aid that he said, I'll just take it to Warner Brothers. And Warner Brothers did make it because they said, you know what, it'd be cool to have him in our family. And Disney was right. And so, and then I read stuff like what Sam Jackson said about him, and he believed a lot of his own hype. And I think that's why The Visit, which I didn't mind, and I think Split is a really good movie, that it restored my faith in him. And now that I read things about Glass, I'm like, fuck.
And he acknowledges that too, like that he was into himself too much, and like Unbreakable, not like it still did well. It didn't bomb, but I think it made $200 million. But after Sixth Sense, it's like
there were a lot of
mediocre.
There were a lot of people in the theater when I saw it. When my dad took me and my sister to see it, which my sister seeing it seems weird now because that's a pretty dark movie for her at her that age. But I was surprised that it was about comic books, and I was like, oh, comics. I like the Wolverine.
Yeah. But yeah, he just like when Unbreakable hit, he got so depressed because he thought he like understood the audience, and now he knows like his audience is the comic book fans and stuff. So that's what his plan now is, just like make small movies, tour them to Comic-Con, and just make.
I think the most successful people, and Stanley has always said this, and they ask him, who do you write your stories for? And he says, me. He says, if I like the story, then other people will write the story. And I think that's true for anybody, any filmmaker, because if you don't believe in your story, then it comes through in your films. And not everybody's a Spielberg, where even if your worst movie, 1941, you can still find merit in it and still enjoy it because he's such a talented filmmaker. But you should tell the stories you want to tell. And if you...
stuff you're invested in.
Exactly, because if you try too hard... the thing with Shyamalan is he's so predicated on now his twist. And then what's your twist? What's your twist? Just tell the story you want to tell and then go from there. I mean, that's the most important thing.
The press put weird expectations on him back in the day with the next Spielberg. I'm like, whoa, slow down, Time Magazine.
The other thing about Unbreakable too is though, like it's so like the shots are so creative, and that's what I was missing from Split and Glass. Which again, like
I think his shot, it's one of the early shots in the film where Glass is turning the comic book. I think it looks really cool. I agree.
I didn't even notice it said Active Comics and not Action Comics for like the longest time. And there's also like when David Dunn is working out and the camera like follows the barbell as it goes up and down with him in some of the shots. And then like some scenes just play out in reflections.
That's right. I haven't seen that movie in a while. I should watch it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and Split's good too. It's just without like the studio level cinematography. In the Q&A, he talks about like he's working with new cinematographers and things, like newer people, and so that's kind of the thing about Split and Glass is they just kind of feel new, whereas Unbreakable feels like an old film, just like the actual filmmaking quality. Anyway, we'll talk more about Glass next week, but and then I also watched. Is that the last thing I watched? Second to last thing I watched, Room with Captain Marvel, which is a really good movie about a woman who is abducted, raped, and forced to live, never going outside in this shed at her abductor's place. Has a kid, lives in that shed with that kid for 5 years. 4 years. The movie starts on his 5th birthday. And so it's, this intimate, small movie about coping with the situation and, her trying to get out. And people told me it was all in the shed.
No.
Or like 90% of the movie. And it's like 30% of the movie is really a shed because all the trauma happens after they do get out.
Yeah, the most intense parts are when after she gets out, and then it's unbearable breakdown until like maybe the final moment when you get some glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and like most of the movie is through the kid's perspective, which is heartbreaking too.
Yeah, Tremblay's really good in it.
So yeah, definitely a good movie. I can see why she got the Oscar for that one. And the last thing I saw just today was the JCVD's new movie, The Bouncer, which the theater I saw it at, it was in French and they didn't subtitle it.
So is it Trey Bone or Trey Merde?
I thought it was awesome. Even though there's only like 2 action scenes in the movie, it's mostly a drama. So Jean-Claude Van Damme he starts out as a bouncer for like a regular nightclub, right? And he's really good at his job. But then some guy like gets pissed off that the waitress spilled a drink on her. So he, throws him outside. But then that guy doesn't like stop, tussling with Van Damme. And then Van Damme accidentally like pushes him and that guy hits his head and he, dies. And then Van Damme's bouncer buddy, is like, we'll cover this up, but I got to fire you. So then Van Damme has to get again, I didn't have the subtitles, so I'm just interpreting
what's happening on screen through the motion
pictures.
It's
not entirely in French. Like, at one point at his new job, there's a guy who speaks English, so, Van Damme starts speaking
Interesting
English.
They didn't subtitle it.
I know. I'm guessing, because it's also on video on demand, so you could actually watch this, without going to the theater. But I'm guessing the on demand has the English subtitles. Yeah, I don't know why.
Jean-Claude wanted you to feel classy watching it.
I don't know why it's like in a Fort Collins, and also this Fort Collins theater is like, it's called an AMC Classic. So it's, my ticket was $1.99.
Yeah, I've went to an AMC Classic, when I was in, Montana, and I saw Halloween there, but because it wasn't stadium seating.
Yeah.
It was just, here's a shitty theater that AMC bought out, I guess.
Classic theater, yeah. Even when I went to buy my ticket, the girl at the counter is just like, just so you know, the movie's subtitled and they speak French. And I was like, that's fine, And she's like, wow, you're the only person who's not run away from that. Every person I've told that, they just leave or pick a different movie.
Did she give you a medal for that?
No, I should have. But anyway, so Van Damme has to go get a new job. He takes a new job at a strip club, and the job interview is he gets like walked down into the basement, and the guy, like, as soon as he walks into the room, the guy's like, "All right, who's ever left standing gets the job." So like he instantly goes into a fist fight with like 6 other guys. It's pretty awesome.
I like that
job
interview.
Yeah, and then you eventually figure out that the strip club is like a front for this guy who has like a criminal organization. And Van Damme gets in with him, and then the police come, and they're like, "Hey, we know about the murder at the nightclub. If you basically be a spy for us, we'll go easy on you." So you get into this organization, do what he says. The other action scene is like the first job he has to do, and they kidnap his kid to like make him do it. He like goes into this house, and it's kind of, I think it was one take. They got the American guy's like, we got to go in and get this guy who knows how to print the counterfeit money. Like he's stealing it from another organization, like their guy. And Van Damme's like, so what's the plan? And the American guy's like, I don't know, we just go in and get it. And Van Damme's like, all right, you stay here, I'm going. And he just he goes in, and I think it is a single take. It's pretty awesome, where he like goes in through the like he goes around the compound into the basement, up the stairs, and then like back down the stairs because there's the guys, and then through all these rooms. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. So if you can catch it, I highly recommend it. Yeah. And that's it for me.
Zach?
Watched a couple things. Before Film Explosion, or like just around the interim of Film Explosion, I went to the theater a couple times. I saw Holmes and Watson, and yeah, it's pretty bad. My frustration with it isn't the Farrell and Riley of it all. It's really the story. Like, it's trying really hard to create a good mystery, but it doesn't really know how a good Sherlock Holmes mystery works. And every plot twist and character twist is very convenient and not clever at all. The people in it are fine. Like Farrell and Riley are fun to watch together. I don't know if they're the best ones to do a Sherlock Holmes parody. Because like I'd rather see them do something like on their own, like Step Brothers or even Talladega Nights, like it's something that they create and not necessarily having to grab onto an established figure like that. But there is a way to do a good Sherlock Holmes parody, and I feel how you do it is you actually parody the films from the 30s and 40s and just kind of like their interpretations of it. But it's not going to necessarily equal like box office hit. But
yeah, I know. It's like audiences aren't going to like get the joke if they've never seen those old movies.
Not necessarily, but if you like the interpretations of those characters would be a better way to like lift off of like a lift off point, you know? Like you don't have to like do it beat for beat, but like it has DNA strands of it in there, but I don't know. Like it was disappointing. And the humor was kind of like weird, and it's chopped up. It's like a 90-minute movie, so it was chopped up to all fucking hell. So there's shit that's missing clearly. I don't think it's unwatchable, and it's not the worst movie of last year, but it's not the best. I saw Vice, Adam McKay's new film. I'm kind of with you. Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't remember what you said about it, like, exactly. But I wasn't the biggest fan of it compared to The Big Short.
It's trying too hard.
Yeah, I don't know if you felt this way, but it feels like, to me, it's too broad a subject to do what they're doing with it. They're grasping at a bunch of different straws, and they don't really have a central focus other than Dick Cheney's a bad man, which is fine if you want to do it that way. But there's so many different things to talk about with that story that I think they wanted to try to do everything instead of trying to focus on one thing. Whereas I think The Big Short, inherently because of its story, has a better focus point.
Yeah, it's one event.
Yeah.
Whereas they're trying to cover all of Cheney's life.
Right, which if you're going to do a biopic of it, Cheney, in that Big Short format, you know, like there are moments in this film that I love that you probably should have cut out. Like, I mean, I love the moment where they stop the movie halfway and do a fake credit sequence saying like Dick Cheney went on to raise prize-winning Labradors or Golden Retrievers, and then and then also there seems to be a lack of like I said, direction, but also just like how do we edit this together? Like the story weaves in and out way too much for my taste. But I think that's also what makes it interesting to watch. So I wouldn't discourage you from seeing it. And Bale and Adams are great in it.
Yeah. I guess it weaves so much. Like by the time they get to the Iraq War stuff, I'm kind of having trouble following like exactly what the plan is. I
mean, like, yeah, and it's like unless you're like a political news junkie and stuff like that, I don't know if you're going to necessarily follow every single angle. I was able to follow it, but I was still like kind of going like, oh, wait, what? Why? Like,
what are we doing now?
Pick a lane. Don't swerve so much. I actually like Steve Carell in it a lot. I think he did a great job. Rockwell's fine. I don't think he's in it enough to make too much of an impact, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Tyler Perry as Colin Powell was pretty interesting. I will say the final moments of it were like jaw dropping, and just the way they kind of like handle his his heart surgery, and also the thing that is finally said right after that by Cheney, I think is a masterstroke of like comedic delivery and just like pure fucking evil, man. So yeah, I mean, I would go check it out. I also saw If Beale Street Could Talk, the new film from Barry Jenkins, director of Moonlight. That movie's really fucking good. I've never read the book by James Baldwin before, and I saw it with Henry before he left, so he and I were kind of walking in blank. But I, from my end, it's a really good love story that has a lot of heartache to it that was difficult yet cathartic to watch. It's a film about two young people in love during like the racial tensions of the 60s. living in New York, and the boy is arrested for rape, which he did not commit. And the whole story is the girl, while pregnant with his baby, trying to find the woman who accused him of rape and get her back, and trying to find out what really happened. And it's a rough watch, but it's really good and worth your time. Regina King, she's been getting a lot of buzz and she won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. She's fantastic. And really what's winning her that award is a scene where she tracks down the girl that made the accusation, but then fled down to Puerto Rico. It's a rough scene. And Brian Tyree Henry from Widows is in it too, and he's good. Whole cast is great all around. It's mostly like people I've never heard of, so it was fun. But yeah, I'd check it out if you haven't seen a Barry Jenkins movie. That might be a little bit more mainstream compared to Moonlight, but I think Moonlight's fantastic. So I finally got into the Western phase of the Clint Eastwood collection for the articles I'm writing. So I started off with his Universal films. He only did 3 Westerns with Universal. The first one was Joe Kidd, which is based on an Elmore Leonard script. It's fun. It's just a kind of like by-the-numbers Western, like kind of what you think of Clint Eastwood as a Western hero when you think of him. Yeah, you've seen it before, right? Yeah. Then the other one, Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Spoiler: Clint was in a movie about mules before. Oh, yeah. But it's him and Shirley MacLaine, who plays a nun, team up to help some Mexican revolutionaries defeat the French who were invading Mexico at the time. The French Intervention is what it's called. Excuse me. Clint's pretty good at that too. It's really kind of like a character piece than anything else, and it's like a comedy of errors between MacLaine and Eastwood. And I honestly think it's a shame that we never got more movies with Eastwood and Shirley MacLaine like opposite each other, because they're really fun to watch together, and they have really good back and forth with each other. And there's this really great scene. Clint gets shot through the chest with an arrow, or the shoulder, by Native Americans, and she scares them off with her cross, because Jesus is that terrifying in cross form. And they're by a riverbank, and they're trying to get to this train to blow up the bridge so that they can stop an armory from coming through. But he's got to get up, so the arrow's still in him. He instructs her to carve out a little point in the arrow where she can fill it with gunpowder, and then break off the tip, and then while he lights it with the cigar, she has to hammer the arrow through him so that it'll cauterize the wound. And it's drawn out for 15 minutes, and it's ever-loving fantastic. I had seen this film before along with Joe Kidd, but I hadn't really appreciated the small things they do in these movies. So that's one of the reasons I was doing this series in general, was to rediscover those wonderful things about him. Which leads me to High Plains Drifter, which is a film I've seen before, but it was I'd only seen it once. And had I remembered what this film was, I would have asked Ryan to come over and watch it with me, because this is a straight up horror movie. Nice. It's about a stranger played by Clint, comes into a town and starts some shit. But the town is so scared about these bandits that are going to come after their release back to the town, that they try to hire Clint as to teach them how to defend the town, or to just take care of them entirely. And Clint's character, the stranger, ends up upending the town through a series of different tricks and just actions that he instructs them to do. He basically gets himself carte blanche of the town and then totally exploits it. But what the film's kind of leading up to is that there was a murder that was committed in this town that the 3 men who are approaching know about, and the whole town was in on. And Clint and a little person, Mordecai, are the only ones who are innocent in the whole affair. I don't want to spoil it because I want Ryan to watch it, but it's a straight up horror movie, and the last 20 minutes are fucking insane. If I had to equate it to anything, it's like a modern day art house horror film where, like, I haven't seen Bone Tomahawk, but it has the energy of the Bone Tomahawk trailer that I've seen.
You should see Bone Tomahawk. It's awesome.
I know I need to watch it. So yeah, I mean, I would check those out. I'm going to continue that whole marathon. Rewatched Charlie Chaplin in Modern Times with my Criterion, which I've watched it many times before. One thing I forgot, there's a title card that says "Searching for Illegal Nose Powder," and it's a whole scene where Charlie Chaplin is putting cocaine on his food and then gets hyped up and eats more food.
Even more awesome says looking for booger sugar. And
Yeah.
then I had to really laugh.
And I still love the scene in the toy department of the department store where he's skating around and he's doing it blindfolded, so he's narrowly missing a drop point where he could just fall over and break his back. And Paulette Goddard, his then girlfriend / wife, was in the movie, and she's great as the gamin. It's still a really good movie, and it surprisingly holds up. Not surprisingly, it feels like as relevant today as when it was made, just because of what it's addressing in terms of like work, society, culture, politics, and stuff like that. It's still a solid film. And then last thing is I've been watching Star Trek Next Generation again, which I haven't done since college. And when I watched it in college, I was stoned all the time or drunk. So I like watching it clear-headed now. Farpoint is still a great way to open up that show. The jellyfish are weird, but I like the way they look. And I like Q. I've always liked the character Q. They kept him throughout the series and didn't just relegate him to one episode.
I thought you should have had a movie. Like it's weird they didn't.
I agree.
Make that like him, part of the movie stuff.
It's almost like though if they were like we're not getting Star Trek 4 anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
But if they were to try to reboot Next Gen in movie form, maybe get Q in as one of the villains. Maybe not the first film, but maybe the second or third. I don't know.
I think it's because they wanted to keep him like as a relic or like a prize of the show.
Like we keep this and everything else.
Yeah,
like, the Borg are expendable, but
yeah, like we're gonna exploit the Borg for all the different shows, but like Q is like an invention of the Next Gen series and
yeah, and Jonathan Frakes in that opening pilot, like that's God, man. He's a god. He looks beautiful. He's just a handsome looking man. But the second episode, The Naked Now, which is based partially on The Naked Time from the original series, that's a weird way to have a second episode or third episode, where depending on how you count it, because it's basically like, okay, we introduced these great characters into Encounter at Farpoint, and now the second episode is going to be, what if they were all fucking drunk?
Yeah.
And Tasha Yar has sex with Data. It's weird. But I counter that every episode of Star Trek, the original series, has some kind of weird bent to it. And that version of The Naked Time has Sulu with his shirt off, playing with a sword.
Oh my!
Oh yeah, and it's delightful. But I mean, like, Star Trek's gonna do whatever the fuck it's gonna do. Like, it does not play by conventional rules. And
well, the thing about Next Generation is, I think it really finds its footing in the third season, because the first two are very much like following the model of the original series.
Yeah, and then that's
where it's really about the stories, and then third season of Next Gen onward, they figure out it's about the stories, but they really know how to develop like individual stories around characters. So there's more character development, especially because Best of Both Worlds kicks off Picard's because Picard's kind of like a non-character for the first few seasons.
He's really angry in the first.
He's just like a gruff authority figure.
He's got great character moments, like Data's hearing the dirty limerick. There once was a man from Venus who had a very large captain. And him getting angry at Wesley is still some of the funniest shit I've ever watched on Star Trek anything, period. I like how he has to tell Riker, don't let me be an embarrassment in front of other people. I hate children. I fucking hate them.
He says fucking?
No,
Wow.
he says damn a lot in those first 2 episodes, though. He says damn a lot.
Well, it's the future.
Yeah, no, yeah. But so, yeah, I'm going to keep watching because I did TOS last year. I'll do TNG this year and maybe even try to do some Voyager. Because I only watched a bit of Voyager. I didn't watch it all.
No
so.
DS9?
I'll do DS9. I like space politics and shit. And people talking in a fucking space station. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I watched this week.
Fuck. I mean, so much.
The
touch
card
on-
ran out. I guess we got it.
Yeah, that's fine. I finally saw the unrated cut of the 2013 Evil Dead. And yeah, there's a lot more gore in it, surprisingly.
Wait, so wasn't there an unrated cut when it was first released?
No. So,
That was a whole hullabaloo with bootlegging.
So with it was released on VOD last year, and then they decided to make a Blu-ray of it as well. It was released in the UK. A lot of times when you see unrated stuff, you go, "Oh, there's nothing to it." I have seen the 2013 Evil Dead enough to know that there's a lot more. The scene where she splits her tongue goes on for about another minute.
God.
There's a little more dialogue play with her and the lady she terrifies, and also the cutting of the tongue and what she does with the tongue. And then when I always forget the character's name besides Mia. But when she goes upstairs and she cuts off her arm, there's more where you see, like, the special effects in this, makeup effects are amazing in this film. She's cutting her arm, and you can see her continuously moving the what are those called? Carver? Electric carver.
The electric carver.
Yeah, you can see it going in and out of her bicep, and you're like, oh, fuck. And then there's the ending has about 3 or 4 more minutes to it, and then there's a mid-credit tag scene that wasn't in the original one. It's not that great, but it's kind of cool to see what happens to Mia. So yeah, it's noticeable if you've seen the movie enough, like I have. I mean, the movie's already super violent, and you can see what they had to cut out to actually achieve an R rating, and a lot of it is the lingering shots, the lingering of her cutting her arm off, her moving her tongue back and forth when it's split is pretty impressive.
That tongue scene when I saw it in a theater in Burbank, I was like, it was a day after I'd like been bar hopping with friends, and like that scene comes up, and I had a panic attack and went to the nearest trash can and vomited.
Oh, wow.
So like it's the only horror movie I've ever done that in ever.
Yeah.
Is Evil Dead.
It's an intense film. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Because they told a similar but different story, which I think you had to with this, because it's a little more serious than the Sam Raimi movie. Sam Raimi movie's a little more slapsticky. This is way more serious.
It's a thoughtful film. That's what I'd say.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with her drug use.
You know,
and stuff.
I still think one of my most favorite and terrifying scenes ever in any film is when her brother comes in and he says, "Mia, what are you doing?" And she goes, "There's someone in the room with me." And her eyes are so wide, and she's it's pretty great. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. The unrated cut, for some reason, is constantly being sold out, because it must be a Sony on-demand thing. Because also the Blu-ray, so I got it in. They changed the cover, but the back cover is exactly the same for the one they released in 2013. And on the inside, they have the same disc, and then the unrated cut's just white with black lettering that says Evil Dead. It does come with 2 Red Band trailers that they included, so that's kind of cool. That's the only other special features on it. They don't have any commentary or anything.
Makes it feel more dirty when you just got it on a white label.
I know, yeah. It definitely seems like it's bootleg.
Should I be watching
But
this?
yeah, even like the back artwork is exactly the same. They literally just changed the front.
So you sure you want to lose your commentary?
No, I have that. So it comes with the original disc too.
Oh, so you get both.
Yeah, you get both. They just like slapped it on there. They literally changed the front cover. The back cover's the same, and then they put a white and black disc in it.
So it's a 2-disc collection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and one disc is basically the one I'm holding right now.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The new one. Okay.
You know, I never for lately, because everybody doesn't want you to buy physical copies of stuff. I haven't been too lucky, but I went to Second and Charles, which is the old Trade Mart, and that store, I really don't like it that much. I hate how it's organized. And I was my little boy loves Secret Life of Pets, and they took it off Netflix, so you can't stream it anymore. So my wife asked if I could find a used copy of it. So I
Tell her you got lost.
Yeah, so I went to. Well, my little guy likes it. I don't really
I
care.
know.
Whatever. I can put up with it.
Can you?
No, I always put on Designated Survivor or something. So on my iPad. Anyways, so I'm flipping through, and I said, you know what? Let me see, because they wasn't in the children's section, and they're so bad of organizing there that I said maybe they put it in the normal section. So I'm going through and I scan. I get to M's, and the 20th anniversary of Monster Squad is there for $8.
I'm surprised you didn't have it.
I have the DVD. I don't know why I don't.
Okay.
I don't know why I don't have the Blu-ray. To tell you the
You've
truth,
been holding out for a better edition? Or?
no, I don't know why I didn't get the Blu-ray. It must not have been available for very long or something. Because that sounds like something I'd get.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's highly unlikely that they would put the DVD out and then like 6 months later do the Blu-ray version of it.
I don't know. I'll have
It's
to go
like,
back.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. Well, so maybe that's what it is, because the actual 20th anniversary is 2007. So maybe I got the DVD because the Blu-ray hadn't come out yet. Was Blu-rays 2008? I think it's 2008 or Blu-ray first, or 2006 is first Blu-rays.
2007, because that's like when Spider-Man 3 came out and like Sony was copying the font.
I do know. That's right. I do know that. I think this Blu-ray came out in 2009.
Yeah.
So it must have not got much fanfare, because I don't know why I never had it.
Does it have the special features?
It
on
does.
It
So it includes all the special features from the DVD. And so just watching it, I'll be really quick. When you've seen a movie so many times on DVD and VHS, when you see it in high definition for the first time, you go, wow, I've never seen this movie before, because it looks so great. There's some focus pulls that are a little blurry, but I think that's a lot of times with the time. It happens a lot in the older films if they don't go back and restore them. And I don't mind it. So there's a part where the dad goes in the kid's room with the mummy, and it's a little out of focus, the background, and it looks like the camera's moving, so like they didn't focus pull it right or something. I don't know.
Tinge of authenticity.
Yeah, it still looks good. And I mean, again, there's colors that I've never seen in it before. So yeah, if you happen to have $40, you can get it on, I think, Amazon. It's $40 used. So I think they messed that up. I watched Juliet Naked, which Corinne let me borrow. Huh?
You're perv.
I know. And it's a romantic comedy. It doesn't follow too many romantic comedy tropes. It stars Rose Byrne, Ethan Hawke, and Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd, yeah. From the Bridesmaids.
And Chris O'Dowd runs a blog about a famous musician who released a album that's called Juliet, and it's like a masterpiece, and he loves it. And then randomly he gets this package in the mail that's called Juliet Naked, and it's a stripped down demo version. And so she posts on his blog that it's garbage. And what's his name? Fuck, I can't really remember the artist's name.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, we'll just call him Ethan Hawke. That was going to drive me crazy. While I'll talk about it, I'll look it up. Anyway, so she writes on there that it's garbage and it's worthless. And so the real guy reaches out to her, and he says, yeah, I totally agree. It's totally garbage, and no one should listen to it. And they've developed this like correspondence through email. It's weird. He's not even listed like on Tucker Crow. There we go. Tucker Crow. So his name's Tucker Crow. He's like this big alt rock guy. It's demos. She says it's garbage. Tucker Crow reaches out to her and says, I agree with you. It's stupid. And she never tells Chris O'Dowd that she's corresponding with him. And they've been together for 15 years, and she wants a kid now, and he still doesn't want one. He ends up cheating on her with this girl who wants to listen to Tucker Crow. And then eventually Tucker Crow goes out to England to see his daughter have a baby, and she ends up meeting his crazy life. And what I liked about it is it didn't follow a lot of the beats you expect in a romantic comedy. In fact, it doesn't end the way you think it would end. And Ethan Hawke's really great at it. He plays a really damaged person that is, you still like him, but he's made a lot of mistakes in his life, and he's trying to atone for those mistakes now. And that's why he kind of went away. He was this rock star, and now he's not anymore. And what happens with that, and how he works through it with Rose Byrne's character. It's really good. You should check it out. I liked it.
Sweet.
And I'm not a big, romantic comedy person. I watched Hellfest, which was awful.
Yep.
The most.
Because I also saw Bloodfest.
So Hellfest is they're at like a haunted mazes and they're in a theme park.
Yeah, and there's like one killer stalking
Yeah.
them all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah, so it's the cinematography is really garish.
Bloodfest is the one where the park is like made up to kill people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I couldn't remember because I know you saw both of them, but I couldn't remember the two because they sounded so similar.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography is really garish. Like you can tell they don't have a lot of money, and so they put lots of yellows and oranges and blues and reds, and they're going through these mazes while someone's trying to kill them. And I'm really disappointed in a slasher film when it's not violent. It's like there's not that much blood in it.
Well, the whole movie's at night, so
Yeah.
it's hard to see anything really.
Yeah, but
and then you go inside everything; it's even darker.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So they do this weird thing where they're trying to put different colors because they're in these haunted houses, I guess. The story is these group of friends go to this place called Hellfest, which is a bunch of like haunted mansions, and while they're going through, there's some dude stalking them and killing them. And I guess if you think a dude with a hole in his boot and wearing a hoodie and a really stupid mask is scary, then I guess this movie's for you.
That's the reason I can't sleep at night, right?
Well, at the beginning I thought his mask with like the devil mask was cooler, and then he got this really weird, I don't know, looks like a 6th grade paper mache project mask.
Yeah. Well, he has like 8 different masks that he alternates. So,
Well, Brad, that's a twist at the end. He comes home and he's just some normal gay.
Also, don't make fun of my paper mache.
Yeah,
I worked very hard for that movie.
it's so bad, and I like horror films, so I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but the characters in it are really garbage.
yeah, like their whole thing is like the one girl's trying to hook up with the other guy.
Yeah.
and they're scared to like
Yeah.
reveal.
And
their
then she
feelings to each
doesn't
other.
like that her one friend has a new friend from college.
Yeah,
But they never really explore why she doesn't like the friend from college. She just doesn't. And they never really explored that. And it's really funny. I was watching the one special feature that came on the DVD from Redbox. It's the making of Hellfest. 16 minutes, and all the actors say, one of the reasons we really like this film is the depth of the characters. And I go, did we watch the same movie?
it's like there is no. It felt like there was no script. They just they let the cast riff and do whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
filmed it,
And they weren't good at it.
yeah.
And the dude's not scary. It just didn't work for me, and I don't know. And the music was really annoying. The lighting was really annoying in the movie. I get that they didn't have a lot of money, but come on.
I want a horror film now called That Dude Was Annoying.
Also, where do these like super elaborate horror theme parks exist?
Yeah.
Because
Okay, and also too. So let's say some girl is like, "Help me! They're trying to kill me." We just ignore.
I know, right?
Be like, whatever.
Like they have people in the park to
Yeah.
like police it, and like that's not their first instinct. Is like, oh, this shit might be real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And,
like that's your job, dude.
The one kill that I thought was actually kind of good and creepy was the very first kill with the main character, Natalie something,
I don't remember the names.
some blonde, random, bland woman. That one girl's escaping, and the dude shows up, and she says, "Oh, she's over there," and so he drags her out, and she's say, "What are you waiting for? Kill her!" And he kills her. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." I'm just like, "Oh, I can get on board with this," but then it was awful, and I read about the director. And he directed Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, whatever, 5th fucking one, I don't remember.
Oh.
But he also cut his teeth as an editor, and the film was really poorly edited and really poorly paced. I hate when movies are like an hour and 27 minutes and they feel it like eternity.
He also did Scott's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
No, not
That's
that.
Christopher Landon, yeah.
It's not that dude. His name's Gregory Batonki or something.
Does this also have like they're in the girl's bathroom?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that scene also kind of like ruined Halloween for me early.
Really?
Because like watching Halloween a couple weeks later, it's just like, oh, I saw this already.
I know it's way more intense than
Well,
Halloween.
and Halloween is more intense, but it's
Yeah.
still like it's like, oh, I saw that device.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen this scene.
Gotcha.
It's done better, but like, there's no surprise to it.
Yeah.
And I guess it was in the trailer too, but
Yeah. It's
I was just like, it's there in Halloween going being like,
you could just tell, just not quite as.
I will
good
say
as...
Hellfest is still probably better than Bloodfest.
Okay, well, I won't see Bloodfest. I couldn't remember which one you
Bloodfest
saw.
has more CGI and shit in it.
Oh, I watched Blockers, which is really pretty funny. Actually,
Yeah, it is.
Is more funny than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I had fun with it. I'm always surprised that I like John Cena in movies because I think he's a really horrible professional wrestler. But yeah, it was fun. If you haven't seen Blockers, these parents are trying to stop their daughters from hooking up and having sex on prom night, and it's just them going through shenanigans to have it happen, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
And there's some heart in it too, and it's well done.
It's a little like Game Night, where it's like the adults are getting into a bunch of shenanigans. And,
I think Game Night's a little stronger, but this movie's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You can stream it on HBO.
Also, you're right. I was wrong. Or you're right. I was wrong. I
don't know which one. I know he directed Paranormal Activity. I don't know which one.
Landon did 2, 3, and 4.
So he did the fifth one. I don't know how many.
Or he wrote those ones and then he did Scout's Guide. But Plotkin did Ghost Dimension, or
so
AKA
the fifth one,
AKA my worst driving experience.
And the last thing I watched is Mandy. Nicolas Cage's Mandy.
Ooh.
It's not horrible. But, I was expecting it being way more violent, and I don't think it was that violent. I mean, the end was whatever, but it kept on building up to something more, and I don't know. It's there.
Yeah.
I don't get the hype behind it because
it feels like all style to me.
Yeah, and because so the cinematography in this one didn't bother me as much as Hellfest. Because I get that he's trying to set a mood and is more competently made, so it didn't bother me. And some of it's weird when it turned all red when the cult leader was staring at the one girl walking down the street. Everyone's talking about an unhinged Nick Cage. I've seen this before. He has
more restrained in that film.
Yeah, he has this really weird line reading when he goes and sees the dude from Predator, and he says he lit her on fire, and it's a really weird line read. I mean, that scene's she's really great in that scene where she's burning alive in front of him. But again, I've seen it before. I've seen it in Friday the 13th, and I think the one in Friday the 13th is more intense. Just me. But he's supposed to go crazy, and then it's I don't know. I thought it was going to be way more over the top violent, and it's just.
I mean, it is, but like most of the movie's all dark, so it's not like seeing a ton of detail. Like when he goes and fights those like demon guys in their trailer, like there's tons of blood, but it's all black.
Exactly.
And the chainsaw fight is like there's blood spray, but there's like a spotlight, so you're not seeing like.
Agreed. It's all right. I mean, it's
no Evil Dead.
No, no. I mean, him fighting like the demon bikers, like the story's cool, and but then again, it's edited weird. I mean, he just randomly finds them. And then they're back at his house. I don't know what's going on because they must be back at his house because or do they take his weapon and hang it in their house? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was like their
trophy, maybe,
or whatever. Maybe it's that place where the cult hangs out. And
maybe
in the movie.
Maybe I did like when he was crafting the axe. It was like so unusual and out of place in the film.
Also, the time it takes to build that elaborate axe, like it just it's all style.
It is. Yeah. It's all right.
And they place it in their, like they already have a place to mount it.
I mean, the character design for the demons was cool. I thought they looked really cool. And the dude was the right level of creepy for the cult leader. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's there.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne's dad.
Yeah, yeah. That was weird because I said, I know this guy from somewhere. So after the movie, I IMDb'd him. Oh, got to see all of them. But I do really like the part where he has that really long monologue, and then she just laughs at him and says, "You're stupid." I think it's pretty great.
Also, she burns up really quick, right?
Am
I misremembering? There's something about her being on fire that was like, what? Like,
no, I think it's pretty prolonged because they leave him there, and then remember he picks her up and she just goes away. And I kept on thinking, "Dust in the wind" is all I could think about when that happened. But that scene's pretty good. It's an all right movie.
Yeah, I think the sound is really important in that movie, and I think if you'd seen it in a theater, you probably would have been a little more impressed.
Like a sensory thing,
maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
You got pretty good sound.
I
at
do.
home,
I have surround sound.
Loud.
Yeah.
Right.
Is your sound loud?
I feel like with synth, like you got to crank it up, or else it puts
you
you
to
sleep.
I agree.
Yeah.
You mentioned the pace. The pace didn't bother me because I felt it was building towards something, and I think the performances were unique enough and interesting enough, or it didn't bother me right away because you prepared me for it.
Yeah. Well, the second time I watched it, it went by faster.
Yeah.
So.
But it does. It takes a little bit to get going, but it's there. He's a lumberjack, I guess.
And that's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
That's right. Hey, we have movie news. This is what's happening in movie news.
Jesus Christ, we're not in movie news yet.
I'll go by this quick. I don't think there's a lot really. The Grinch, which you saw, is now the highest-grossing Christmas movie of all time worldwide, and it surpassed
more than Die Hard. Check your
really,
numbers.
really, right now.
I think worldwide it is. I think it's made some $600 million worldwide.
500,497,000 something million.
500 million is a lot.
And it hit past Home Alone's worldwide total of 476 million.
A lot of money.
So yeah, good for the Grinch.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. We got a little teaser photo of Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham, and Idris Elba for the Hobbs and Shaw film, and it's just three figures of masculine badassery
yeah, I was gonna say, that's all I need.
that are ready to fucking brawl, and that's all I needed from that fucking thing. The 21 Trump Street crossover with Men in Black is dead. Probably because we're getting Men in Black International or whatever.
I think it'd be more fun if they took the Men in Black International cast.
The Walter Parkus, the guy who was working on it, said, like, we gave it a shot. It turned out to be an impossible matchup.
Call us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, some interesting news that I thought was pretty funny. Billy Zane's going to play Marlon Brando in a biopic about Marlon Brando called Waltzing with Brando. And it's going to be about the time between...
They kind of look alike.
Yeah. Yeah. And Zane will know how to, like, dig into a Brando-esque character. Like, I like Zane because he's one of those guys who, like, he's kind of like a campy actor, and he knows how to play it correctly.
I think if he wants to be good, he'll be really good.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you watch Titanic, he's really good in Titanic at playing a silent film villain that's allowed to talk.
I still haven't seen Titanic in 21 years.
I've never seen it.
Really? It's not bad, but it's not the best picture of that year. But
I don't know. I have to see it again.
We're getting a Final Destination reboot from the Dunstan and Melton co-writers who did the Saw 4 or Saw 5, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You know, I don't know if you know this. I'm friends with Jeffrey Reddick on Facebook.
Oh, wow, you are you?
The writer of Final Destination.
No way.
And so he posted that when it was released, and this one person says, "Oh, that's so crappy that they're making a reboot." And his response was, "I have work, and if they want to remake it, that's fine."
Yeah, it's their prerogative.
I think that's a cool thing if you get to a point in your life where you've made something and someone wants to remake it. Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's going to happen eventually, and at the end of the day, he's going to get residuals. Yeah. I'd let him do it. Who cares?
So then, like, I don't not like the Final Destination movies, but I don't watch them en masse. Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, it'd be interesting to see them reboot this.
Yeah, I mean, it works because you can say it's a reboot, but all you're doing is just making a new. It was the Saw before there was Saw. It's just a set piece of killing people.
Bring Tony Todd back.
Yeah, Tony Todd's amazing.
Because we're not going to get him for that Candyman remake, I don't think. And then lastly, we're going to get a Coming to America 2. So we're going to go back to Zamunda, guys. And the director on board will be Craig Brewer, the guy who did Hustle and Flow and the Footloose remake. He's a pretty solid director. But he just did a film with Eddie Murphy called Dolomite Is My Name, which I'm really excited for. It's a Netflix film about a blaxploitation actor in the 70s. Not much detail on it other than they're working on the film. So, and that the script got a rewrite from Kenya Barris, who did Blackish, which is great news to me. I like Blackish a lot. So yeah, unless I missed anything, that's news.
Back to Nick Cage real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at this video game store a couple hours ago.
And Nick Cage was there?
No.
Awesome.
I was like overhearing the people behind the counter talking, and the one girl's like, "Okay, so we got to watch this movie. Let me tell you the description." So there's like this agent, and they take his face off, and the other guy gets his face, and then they both have opposite faces, and they have to like fight each other. I'm just like, I feel so old. Mm-hmm. Like these two 22-year-olds are just like now finding out this movie. Like you never heard of it before.
Well, the government did try to hide it from us for years. Yeah. Don't you remember that embargo we had after 9/11? No watching Face Off.
I'm gonna take his face off. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Bumble Bee. Well, a couple weeks ago. Brad, should people see Bumble Bee?
Yeah, I am very surprised how much. Like, this is the best Transformers movie. by a lot. Like the 80s nostalgia obviously hooked me in really easily. I've actually seen it twice now. I rewatched it last night because I saw it too long ago to remember a lot of the points. It's I was a little frustrated with how much Bumble Bee gets his ass kicked. Like, it's a little redundant. I think the movie could have been a little shorter in a lot of places, especially the scene where she chases her mom down after she borrows the car. It's like, what is this scene even doing? Like, we just cut to the beach. But other than that, like, it's a ton of fun. Like, in the Battle of Cybertron, hell yeah.
Yeah.
With the original designs of all the... so good.
Yeah. Zach?
Yeah, so I've been on this weird, wacky Transformers journey for years now. Seeing everyone in the theater dutifully and sometimes dumbly. So my expectations were super low that when I walked out of this one, I was like, oh, fuck, I enjoyed that. Like in a genuine way. Yeah, you should go see this. This is pretty damn cool. And I agree. That beginning at Cybertron battle is fucking awesome. But more to the point, the entire movie finally understands what the fuck to do with a Transformers movie in a way that I don't think the other 5 knew what to do at all. If anything, like I know there's love for that first Transformers film, but honestly, this film makes that and everything else around it look like utter dumpster fire garbage. Like I really liked it. I liked Haley Stanfield in it. John Cena was great. And the kid who plays Memo, I think his name is, it was a great cast all around, and it felt super 80s. Like, I mean, this is one of those 80s nostalgia pieces that somehow really understood how to film and shoot and make it feel like the 80s, where some of them don't always get it, in my opinion. So yeah, I would definitely check out Bumble Bee.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My movie-going experience with Transformers is really bizarre. I saw the first one, haven't seen the second one. Saw the third one, thought it was cool. I saw the fourth one, thought it was awful. Didn't see the fifth one, and so now we're on this. This movie, I liked it so much, I really considered when I went to Walmart afterwards. I'm like, oh, they have them all in Ultra HD for like $40.
Don't do it.
Is that worth it?
Why not?
You know, I didn't get it because my sensibilities like, no, I can't do it.
You have a kid now.
Yeah,
you can't
I
just
should
make frivolous purchases.
Yeah,
like
I should
that.
really buy him, clothes and shit.
It'll be free on Netflix at some point.
Yeah, because but yeah, this movie is pretty fun. When I saw the trailer, even when I saw the trailer, I had a feeling that this movie might be pretty fun, and it is. It delivers, and you're right. The battle on Cybertron is amazing.
The sixth movie, they finally get to that.
Yeah, and I think it helps that they scaled back the Michael Bay over bombastic shooting. When shooting, I mean like filming of the movie, and they just grounded it as much as you can with giant robots fighting. And I think they did a good job with it. So here is the trailer for Bumblebee.
I'm Charlie Watson. I'm 18. Today, actually. Is the Beetle for sale?
It's yours, kid. Happy birthday.
Oh my God. What are you?
So you have no idea where he came from?
No idea.
Well,
Here's the deal. People can be terrible about things they don't understand. From now on, the only person you can show yourself around is me. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks.
there's a war raging on our planet. If this criminal isn't found, that war may find its way here.
Is there anyone that can help you? Do you have a family? Oh, me.
They're calling an army.
I've seen firsthand. These things really are.
Bumblebee. There is only one way to end this war. You must protect Earth and its people.
Take it down!
Fight back, Bee! This is how we stop them. You've got me. And I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I like that they don't involve like everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Into the story. Like we don't need the military's in this, but like it just seems like the Michael Bay ones have like 6 different storylines that'll have to come together.
Yeah.
When this is just like, you know, a girl in her car. Like that's all we needed.
The first Transformers is like Nashville, but with robots.
But you know what's great too is she needs to grow too. It's not just like the movie is about her and her needing to get past the death of her father, and Bumblebee helps her with that. You know, she realizes that she can't get this Camaro or whatever it is, Corvette working,
yeah.
And so she settles for this beat up Volkswagen Bug. And her character's really fun in it. Her name's Charlie, and it's a cool arc because she's struggling with her identity after her father passed away because she related to him so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, she gave up her diving career and all that other stuff. But I think it's cool. And I think that's why it works because her journey is more relatable than Sam Witwicky. Is that his name in the first?
Yeah.
Sam Witwicky.
Because it's,
I forget what his like.
I don't know.
He wants to sell his grandfather's merchandise or his grandfather's shit, so that he can have enough money to get a car so that he can impress women.
Megan Fox, that's right,
Yeah.
because she's that. Yeah, now I remember.
Made me realize that. Oh, now I want to watch Bumblebee 10 times now just to make up for all the shit I've lost over the years.
But there's
fucking Michael Bay.
I even think the Transformers look better.
Yeah,
because you mentioned it before, they look more like they should.
I can tell who's who now. Finally,
well, the Michael Bay one is just like a bunch of scrap metal stuck together. This one they look like cars and jets.
And because the transforming is really sweet, and I've said it before. I think John Cena has the best line of the year, where he says they're Decepticons. That's literally their name, isn't it? Saying any warning flags.
That was my second favorite. My first favorite one was "There's a door in my way."
I also like Ron, when he's like, "I stole a box of Malamars." Yeah, we know.
It's good. It's.
I need you to go over to the I can't remember which one and steal some sticks. We're all out of sticks for our hot dogs on a stick. Can we just sell it to them without the stick?
I love that because I made a hot dog on the stick for work. A hot dog on the stick ad for work years ago.
Really?
So I was like, "Oh my god, hot dog on a stick!" I remember you. More of an East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Even though this is in the West Coast.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a West Coast thing.
I don't know.
We're stuck in the middle.
I don't know. There used to be one at Park Meadows.
There's one at the Aurora Mall.
What?
Still there
Right now?
Yep.
Guys, let's go.
Done.
What time is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So what's the music budget on this movie? Because there must have been like 7 80s songs in the first 5 minutes of this movie. Like they played like 30 seconds of one, then jumped to the other one. I was like, wow. I mean, I like this, but
yeah, and I mean it's
expensive.
Cool. They set up how he lost his way to talk and and I mean I think the Decepticons were awesome in it because they seemed scary.
I like how they play humans for fools.
Yeah.
Like every
and they invented the internet.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Everything they do in this film.
I like how they pop.
Yeah.
That stuff is pretty gory. Yeah. I mean, it's like silver blood, but
yeah. Well, I think it's just water.
Yeah.
Like gooey water. Yeah.
It's again, this film understands finally what the Transformers are. Like those first 5, like when somebody dies, like they'll get their heads ripped off or like fucking like actual blood and stuff like that.
I mean, I like the third one because Optimus Prime Mortal Kombat's
that is
someone. That one's pretty awesome, but I don't remember. I mean, I don't really remember anything else about it.
But like when I saw them getting killed and turning into goo, I'm like, oh, this fucking gets it. It's a Saturday morning cartoon. And this one is the only one I'd recommend you could watch with kids.
Oh yeah, no, I took my little boy to. He loved it.
Yeah.
The action in the Michael Bay ones is good, but this one has the heart that all those are missing.
Exactly. So you care more about the action because you care about the characters in it.
I love Michael Bay films. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like they are all of them are lacking an emotional core one way or
he's
another.
all about. He can direct the hell out of style.
Right. I mean, like the best film he made, Pain and Gain, is only as great as it is because it has a lack of heart because it needs to have a lack of heart.
I agree.
I mean, Armageddon, like, you know, it's got some kind of a heart, but I don't know how it's beating. And like Bumblebee, like I feel like I care about that Charlie character a lot. I care about the family too, like everything around her.
Yeah, because I even like too that the stepdad was kind of a dork. And he didn't have like some hidden agenda where he's just an asshole.
He's not some abusive shithead.
He's trying to. He's trying to be a good dude.
Yeah,
and he's just a dork.
He just doesn't know how to like. I love what he gives it the book.
Studies show that if you smile more, you have more friends.
I lost my shit. I laughed a lot at this movie.
Yeah, because you're right. The humor comes from the heart too. Because he's not a bad dude. He just doesn't understand his stepdaughter.
Yeah,
I know it was a trailer joke, but I loved when they're feeding the different cassette tapes and Never Gonna Give You Up, and he just shoots it out immediately.
Yeah, but also like it's not really his fault either because she's retreated from her family.
Exactly.
So like he's making the effort and she's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one of the great moments I thought was like she gets coaxed into doing the dive off the cliff, but she doesn't do it, and then that scene with that the bitchy gal, like making fun of her dead dad, and so it's after that and she's feeling hurt and Memo's like, well, I want to get revenge. Bumblebee, do you want to get revenge? Revenge! And then, like, that whole scene where they're outside of the bitchy girl's house and Bumblebee's trying to be a prankster, like, that's what, if I had a robot like that, I would use it to pull pranks like that. Like, it wouldn't be like save the world. It'd be like, no, learn how to throw these eggs at this window. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And the cinematography is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, the scenes at the carnival where she's working and stuff like that, like it felt like I was watching an actual 80s movie, which that look is hard to replicate. It is, for some reason, it is very hard to replicate. It sucks that it sets up the first Transformers at the end. I hope they found a way to somehow not do that for whatever they do going forward.
Well, it's kind of confusing because like the original Transformers movie, like that's the first time they've been on Earth, according to that movie. So
this might be rebooting it.
This, unfortunately, the box office. I don't know what they're going to do next, which is unfortunate because if you want to build off anything, build off this.
Unfortunately, the too little, too late with the audience at some point. Like you finally get the good one, and then all of a sudden nobody wants it.
There, yeah.
They want it. They want to be talked down to.
Well, it's also the holidays. Like, summer would have been a better time to put this out.
Cannibalized each other with Mary Poppins, Aquaman, and everything.
Yeah. Next week we're seeing Glass. Some of us have already seen it. The rest of us will be seeing Glass.
What have you done, Ryan?
I've observed.
And then after that, though, what is there?
There is something I want to see. I can't remember what it is. I'll remember when I look at it.
Yeah, something
that was small and then is going national.
Okay,
we'll be on the upside. Apparently, that's a bigger hit than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, helped out my fantasy movie league.
Fuck. The one time a Christian movie about dogs doesn't do well.
I know. You know what's funny is I oscillated between the two. And I said, you know what? I think this Upside has some momentum. And so I still didn't beat Joe, but
I thought the Kevin Hart stuff was going to hurt it. That's why I didn't pick it. And no,
you saw the upside of the upside.
I did.
Yeah. Also, in like 5 months, we're having our 400th episode, guys.
I know. Jesus Christ.
So look out for that. I want to do a live episode of it.
Okay.
At the Bug.
Yeah.
But
okay.
We need to make a compelling show, but I want to figure it out now and then spend 5 months advertising, so 2 weeks ahead of time.
I think that's the episode where we finally all are given individual weapons and battle to the death on stage.
It's always hard because I do know that our list episodes are the most popular ones because that's the stuff we get the most traction on.
Mm-hmm.
To make it compelling, I don't know.
Again, battle to the death, guys.
Well, we already did our favorite episodes of this, our run, so we gotta think of something else to do.
Yep.
So we'll figure it out, but
we'll figure it out.
Keep an ear open for that because I think it'd be fun and different for 400 episodes. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, actually more than 400 because we don't number everything.
How
400 main episodes.
Yeah.
How much longer do we have to go before we beat The Simpsons? The
I
Simpsons
think we're already
beats-
past The Simpsons.
Simpsons. No, they got to be like on their 600th or 700th by now.
Oh shoot! 4
Hey,
more
Siri,
years.
How many episodes of The Simpsons are there?
Let's say average, because
Hey,
there's
Siri.
short seasons. 20 times 20.
Hey Siri.
Yeah, so that's 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many episodes of The Simpsons are there?
No, they're on like season 35.
Well, they're on season 30.
Well, it's because you guys keep on saying.
Because they'll never stop this show.
She doesn't recognize you said liver.
Oh.
Siri. Siri. Hey Siri.
Fuck you, Ryan.
How many episodes of The Simpsons are there? No, tell me how many there are.
Castellaneta? Oh, yes,
Whatever.
I love Dan Castellaneta in The Pursuit of Happiness.
It's so much easier just to go on freaking IMDb.
Yeah. I'm saying it's 600, or at least they reached their 600 goal.
663.
Damn.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
What happens
Cool.
when they get to 1,000?
So
Bingo?
we still have like 4 more years.
Cool.
Ah.
Sounds good. Till next week, 1 week at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.